Welcome, everyone. This is Jared Ambeau of the Ambeau Law Firm and founder of Trial Alliance. And this is issue number 17. The topic for today is information is not action. What does that mean? So, oftentimes in jury trial practice, in life, in business, in being a father, being a good husband, in any aspect of my life I can think of, I often get faced with situations where I don't know the solution to a particular problem or a particular issue, or I want to grow in a particular way and I'm not sure about what to do with that, right? What diet should I follow? What workout program? How do I put systems in place in my office? What is automation, and how can I use automation to make my office run smoother and more efficiently? And so when faced with these problems, right, I got a new kind of witness I have to cross-examine in this trial, and I've never done it before. And when faced with these kinds of problems, it is my tendency, because of my personality, to collect information first, right? All right, I've got a problem, I want to grow, or I want to fix something, go get the information. Find as much information as you can out about this particular subject or this particular thing, right? So if that means, going to Google, right? There's information. Wikipedia, not great information, but information, right? Go to learned journals, right? Look up journal articles. Look in law books, right? Go to sites that I trust on the internet. Read a book, right? Buy a book. I do that all the time. I order books all the time on my Kindle. Buy a book. Read something. Read something from someone that's done the research and gone through the process. Talk to people who are experiencing success in the particular area that you're experiencing, or that you want to experience success in, right? Somebody, you want to make changes in your body, talk to somebody who's got a great body. You want to figure out how to make money, talk to somebody who's got money, right? You want to figure out how to have a great marriage, talk to someone that you perceive has a wonderful marriage, a wonderful relationship. Again, go and find the information, right? And once you get the information, it feels good. It feels like, okay, look, I've gotten the information. I've collected the information that I need. I feel good about it. I've organized it. I've written it down. I feel great about this. I feel real good about what am I doing now? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to organize it a little more. So I'm going to take this information. I'm going to write it down into a list. Or I'm going to put it in this outline. Or maybe even I'll write it down and I'll pin it on the wall next to my mirror in the morning so I see this information every day, right? Or maybe I'll tell my secretary, you know what I want you to do? I want you to find out this piece of information about my bank account every day and send me an email every day about it, right? Give me some more information, right? More information about what's going on, right? I have this thing about, I have a case coming up where I have the kind of witness that I've not had an opportunity to cross-examine before in a jury trial. So I've had it in preliminary examinations and pretrial motions and stuff, but in a jury trial, this specific thing that's going on with this witness has made 3 or 4 materially inconsistent statements, like frightfully inconsistent statements. And I've never had somebody go that crazy on statements, right? Like really, like totally changing stories, totally like a year later, a year and a half later. And not just statements like on a phone call, like 2 officers, and then completely different statements to friends recorded by text that can't be denied, right? Crazy stuff, right? And so I'm great with a single inconsistent statement or even 2 inconsistent statements perhaps about something and showing the confusion. But now 4 of them, I've got to figure out how to deal with that amount of information and not just make it look completely confusing, right? Or maybe what I need to do is make it look completely confusing, right? This witness has no merit whatsoever because she just says anything, right? So I've asked some mentors about that, some people that I trust, people that I know well. Have you had this opportunity? Have you done this? Have you dealt with this many inconsistencies, material inconsistencies? How do you do that? Well, you put it on a board and you do this and you use your whiteboard and you use a PowerPoint. Okay, so I got all the information, right? But what am I going to do with that, right? I mean, that really isn't sufficient. The truth of it is that having the information makes me better prepared, but it doesn't fix the problem, doesn't make me grow in ways that are significant. What I have to do is I have to take action. And even in something like that, where I only get one shot at that witness, right? And it's at trial. And so I'm not going to get another shot at that. So how do I take action? Well, I take action by doing my cross to another attorney, my associate, or one of my staff, right? I go through the process of doing that cross and writing out those inconsistencies and how I'm going to organize those, how I'm going to do it in front of people. I stand up and I do it, right? I mean, if I want to fix my body and I compile all this information about a diet, well, then I have to start the diet, right? I've got to get it done. I've got to do the thing that is about, I've got to do the act, right? I have to take the action related to the information, or it's completely useless, right? It's totally useless. If I don't do something, I can have all the information in the world, and all the information in the world without action, well, it just makes me really smart, I guess, not really smart. It makes me really informed. How about that? Because the truth is that information without action is completely useless. I mean, it really is useless. I have got to do something. I've got to put those things into effect in my life. I have to put the information into effect, right? And so how do you put the information into effect? It's funny. I just got Jocko Willinek's book for kids about being a warrior kid. And I opened it up. I was going to give it to one of my older children, 14-year-old. I was like, well, is this good for him? You know, read this. And I opened up a page, and it talks about motivation, about doing the work, right? About action, taking action. The kid's like, well, how are you so motivated? And the guy says, well, motivation is not what it's about at all. It's about discipline. And discipline is about taking action. That's what discipline is about. Discipline is about taking action, doing. It's about doing what you've decided to do with the information. I've decided that this is the proper course, and then doing it, and just doing it all the time. Being disciplined and doing it all the time. Taking the action, right? Gather the information. Be informed. Know where you're going. Action without information is foolishness, right? It's nonsense. It's blindly wandering around and running into a bunch of things like bumper cars, man. Do they do bumper cars anymore? Or bumper cars when I was a kid. Bumping into things, man, you know, not having any purpose or any direction. That doesn't make any sense either, right? It's the combination of two things. But my personality, I have the personality that I tend to want to gather information and then feel like I've accomplished something, right? I'm writing this book right now on jury trial, on my jury trial method, right? On the Ambeau trial method. And the truth is that I've gathered a tremendous amount of information. I've read 30, 40 books, gathered all this information, all these notes. I think I have 70 pages of notes, handwritten notes. But I just started writing the book. And the truth of it is that I didn't even feel like I was doing it until I started putting words on paper that were the book, because it was the action that made it real, like in the real world, like made it a concrete thing I could look at and say, now I've learned the information that was necessary, and I've taken this act, I've acted. I've taken the action, and that's what's making a difference. And frankly, it is making a difference. That's what makes a difference in my life, is taking those acts every day, having that habit of acting in a way that's consistent with the information I've gathered, that's in a way that supports my life and my growth and my learning. That's what it's about. For me, it's about taking that action. And without the action, it's a bit vacuous, right? It sort of disappears into the ether, goes away somewhere, the information, without actually doing it. And so that's the message today. Information without action does not give you anything. It just doesn't. Makes you feel a lot better, but it doesn't have any substance in the world. And so take action. Do it. Start to do it. Start to do that thing. Start to put it into action, because that makes all the difference. And that's my issue for the day. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.